Today on Kicks Chronicles, we talk life and kicks with content director from the Edit London, Kata Jasinski. We talk about the kicks that she loved growing up. We talk about women in sneakers, how she became a content director at one of the fastest growing sneaker marketplaces in the world, and what kicks she would take with her if she was stranded on a desert island. This is Kicks Chronicles. Yes, my people. Welcome to another episode of your sneaker and lifestyle podcast, Kicks Chronicles, episode number 62. I'm your boy PROZECH. Welcome. Whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the evening, you are welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. I thank you very, very much, especially to all of those that managed to watch our last episode or listen to our last episode with the amazing Matt O. That was the part two of our interview with Matt O. That guy is a hot take machine, 1000%. And I know those that have been interacting and engaging with the content that I've been putting out on Instagram and TikTok. I appreciate you, man, as well. Really, really do, sharing that, posting that in your stories, comments and all of that jargon and jazz. Much appreciated, man. I told you, man, we're up in our games, man. Getting ready for 2024. 2024 is going to be the biggest year for Kicks Chronicles ever. Like this year, you already know the numbers. The numbers are crazy this year. Like, respectfully. Our numbers went crazy this year. I ain't going to go through them again because I went through them last week. But like, on the real thing, 2024 is about to be crazy. We've got amazing guests already lining up for 2024. And I'm super excited. So please, guys, like, comment, subscribe, follow, engage with what we're doing. If you haven't seen our older episodes, go and watch the older episodes. We're only getting better. I'm only getting better, right? I'm saying continuous improvement out here. That's how we do. You get me? But yeah, today, let's focus up. Today we are talking life and kicks with the one that only Kata Jasinski from the Edit London. I met Kate at Sneakerness, the sneaker convention that happened in London a couple of months ago. And it's difficult to miss the Edit, if I'm being honest, because they had a lot of stuff going on. They had a massive street basketball competition. Like, as soon as you walked in the building, you could feel the energy, and it was being generated, a lot of it, from that 4 or 5 grand or whatever they had on the line for the street ball competition. These men were going ham. You get me? I was seeing fadeaways. I was seeing jump hooks. I was seeing spinneroonies. I don't even know. Like it was moving mad, and I got a chance to meet Kate and also Moses as well, which was also amazing. So Moses he's the owner of the Edit London, but Kate is the content director, and we lined this up and we put this together. And maybe, you never know, maybe Moses might want to jump on and do one of these as well, because don't know if you've seen, our numbers are pretty nice. You get me? So we could definitely hook that out for the new year. Definitely be interested to get his perspective and take. But yeah, Kate was absolutely amazing. Really enjoyed my time speaking with Kate. So knowledgeable about kicks and streetwear in general and all of that sort of stuff. So bread and butter, this is what she's doing. She's posting about kicks. She's posting about sort of trends and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was really cool to get her perspective and understanding. Talk about her beginnings, talk about how she started in kicks, heavily influenced by her older brothers, which is somewhat of a rite of passage for a lot of people, I tend to notice. But yeah, heavily influenced by the love from the older brothers. She got into the Air Max 90 real early. You get me? For a little girl to love an Air Max 90, you know that's a heavy influence. You get me? Like, it's a heavy influence, but it's a banger of a kick. So you have to respect it, along with other silhouettes like the Nike SB and one that's so close to my heart. You all know it. We know what I'm about to say. We can all say it together. 1, 2, 3. Reebok Classic. She loves the Reebok Classic. It's an absolute banger, and you couldn't but love the Reebok Classic, especially in the times when we grew up. We also dive into Kate's current collection, where Once again, she's got a lot of love for the dunks in various kinds and forms. You get me? Plus, she gives her opinion on women in sneakers. And more specifically, she gives her opinion on women-only drops. And I've been on that soapbox for a long time. It's interesting to get her perspective. In fact, she drops an absolute bar. As in, I'm talking shots. I'm talking wheel it up. I'm talking everything. You get me? Shut down the dance. She's killed it. The bar was a crazy bar. She drops a bar about women's only drops at around the 30-minute mark. If you people are counting, you get me? Around 30-minute mark. If you people are counting, something that TT Finlay told her. Shout out to TT Finlay as well. Absolute crazy bar on women's only drops, which I completely agree with. She also tells us her top 3 of 2023. And with no surprises, there was a dunk in there. But I'll let you figure out what dunk it was. Lastly, she tells us what being a sneakerhead means to her. But slightly before that, she talks about what shoes she would take with her if she was stranded on a desert island. Very enjoyable chat, really interesting. As I say, I absolutely enjoyed myself. Love to catch up with Kate once again at some point and chop it up again. It would be an absolute pleasure and a treat. And guys, I hope you find this interview interesting and entertaining. And before we get into that interview, guys, make sure obviously to like, comment, and subscribe and do all of those great things. I only deal with 5-star reviews, so don't bring nothing else to my household. And also, if you ever want to holler at me via email, it's kickschronicles@gmail.com. That's kickschronicles@gmail.com. With all of that being said, I'm your boy PROZECH. This is Kicks Chronicles. And today our guest is the amazing, the illustrious Kata Jasinski from the Edit London. Enjoy. Yes, my people. Big PROZECH back again, and you already know what it is. Kicks Chronicles. We have another, can you imagine, another illustrious guest in the midst, in the building, right? Today, we have from the Edit London, the content director extraordinaire, Kate. Kate is here. What's that? What are you saying, Kate? How's it going?
Me. Good, all good.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. It's amazing to have you here. Full disclosure, people, sneakerness is still paying dividends. Went to one sneaker convention and I managed to get like about 10 interviews. So yeah, just know there's going to be a sneakerness connection to the next sort of 5-10 interviews. But I did, my friend Peter and myself went to sneakerness. We saw the massive deal that the Edit London were making with the street basketball competition. Yeah. Fire idea, by the way, just amazing idea. Always good when there's a bit of money up for grabs as well. People are going all out for the dough. You get me? This is what it's about, though. This is what it's about. Putting those basketball kicks to good use. You get me? They were actually playing basketball, which was sick. And yeah, man, all brought to them by the Edit London, and it was a vibe, definitely. So yeah, definitely brought a whole group of people to what you were doing, man. So it was very, very cool. But yeah, let's. We usually start at the beginning, but we take it back. But let's start slightly differently today. Have you? I know we talked briefly before. You were at the office today, right?
I was at the office today. Yeah.
Cool. So what did you have on feet today? Seeing as you've left the house.
Do you know what? I went with the It Girl vibes today, and I went with just a classic pair of Adidas Sambas. And I'm not normally an Adidas girl, but they've caught my eye this year massively.
The Adidas Samba is certainly the It Girl vibes. You get me? It's definitely the trending shoe of the season. So yeah, I can't be mad at it. And to be honest, I have a soft spot for Adidas, so I'm happy for their resurgence. I've been traditionally a Yeezy head in terms of my Adidas interactions, but I have a soft spot for the Gazelle and the Samba and a lot of the terrace shoes. I think they just fit. They just fit in terms of our culture.
caused a bit of a stir with Nike this year. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to mix up what's going on up there. You get me? Because they've got a bit of a stronghold, Nike, and sometimes it's good to keep them honest. Adidas they haven't been in the race for a long time, man. So it's good that they got back in the game, taking over top spot from the old Panda and that. So yeah, good on the Sandbar, man. I respect it. Yeah, and on trend, as you said, which I wouldn't expect anything less from somebody from the Edit London. Come on.
I'm just trying to keep up with the Gen Z hype, you know.
This is it, man. In terms, I left the house today just to run a quick errand, and I was in. People are gonna roast me slightly for it, but I was in a Panda today, so it is what it is.
I watch a lot of TikTok videos when they go around conventions and they're like, you know, what's the deadest shoe, the worst shoe? Everyone says Pandas, and I do not agree with that at all.
How could it possibly be? How could it be?
It changed the game of dunks for a very long time, and everyone calls it basic, but it's a black and white dunk that goes with everything, and I don't understand people's issue with that. Some of the quality issues later on,
100%. Yeah,
I got my Pandas in the original drop, like when they first came out, and they were perfect. I think they've only just started to, like, you know, go at the heel and everything like that. So I'm a Panda stan.
Yeah, no, I'll go with the Pandas, and I wasn't as smart as you. I did manage to cop the Pandas early on, but I was a bit more. Now let's sell them for double the money.
Fair.
Let's get all that in. Lovely jubbly. So I ended up getting one of the later drops where it was quite clear that Nike were just money grabbing at that. The quality, this is it. The quality just went out the window, but it's fine because I got the whole family run. The little girl, the wife's got it. Everyone's got it. So we're all in line. That's all gravy.
With the demand, what am I going to do? Be like, no, I'm not making any more. It was always going to happen.
Do you know what's annoying? I recently went to Offspring at Selfridges and I saw that they had the vintage pair. And the vintage pair is really nice.
I really like them.
It's really nice, like with the sort of aged midsole and sort of a nicer levers on the top. You can see they've shined it up. I'm like, oh, I wish I could just trade mine in for those. It'd be so easier, such a easier thing to wear in terms of fits and stuff. But anyway, I digress. Let's talk about your first love, Kate. Let's take it all the way back to the beginning, man. Let's mosey down memory lane. What was the shoe that sort of got you in love with the game?
So I've got two older brothers that are quite a lot older than me, and they were obviously very into fashion a lot sooner than I was. And I remember my oldest brother, Robert, who is 12 years older than me, he always, and still to this day, will only wear Air Max 90s. And
love it.
There's just such a... it's just such a nice feeling when I see them, and when I see people wearing them, I just kind of think of that time. And yeah, so he still wears them to this day. Every time I see him, he's asking me for a pair of 90s. So yeah, it's quite nice that he's now asking me for shoes and advice on shoes. But I think they were the ones that I just love seeing. It's just like that nostalgia factor for me.
Yeah, the Air Max 90 is an absolute vibe. That was one of the first pairs of shoes. Shout out to my cousin Sammy, because he put me on game. Because I was in the wilderness. Okay, I'm being real. We're gonna get to it, but I was dealing in some dark arts. I'm not gonna lie, and he brought me back from the brink, man. And he got me sort of it was a white, grey, and navy blue pair of Air Max 90s in year 8, and literally put me back in the scene, man. So yeah, I've got a lot of love. I've got a lot of love for the Air Max 90. And what was the other shoe?
So. Do you know what? I'm having to go, and it's not too nostalgic, but the first shoe that I actually ever really, really fell in love with and was like, oh, I need to own a pair of these, was an SB Dunk, but kind of, it was around 2009, so not the kind of ones that you saw coming out kind of like post 2012, everything like that, but so it was very early, and it was still purely like skateboarder shoe. And I know my first boyfriend used to wear them because he was American, and kind of got me onto that kind of skateboarder vibe. So I was like, yes, love that. So yeah, I think again, Nike still won it for me a little bit, but also Reebok Classics were the ones that my parents used to buy me all the time.
Come on. I love the Reebok Classic.
Oh, all the time.
Still doesn't get, I feel it's criminally underrated in terms of a silhouette, but they had the streets on lock.
Yeah.
On absolute, all the way through the 90s. Like my whole childhood was Reebok Classics.
Yeah.
Like Nike came in around 2000, and I think people are gonna have different opinions because I couldn't afford Nike Kicks anyway.
Oh no,
Right, so
I just got everything that my parents like
this is
obviously
it.
at the time, and the Reebok Classic was just the one. So
Yeah, the Reebok Classic absolutely fills my heart with joy, man. It's a very, very cool shoe. Like, where did you grow up? What kind of area? So I can just place you geographically.
do you know what? This is going to be really, really confusing. So I don't have like a kind of normal. I was born in one place, grew up in one place. So I was born in Gibraltar, which is a bit different.
Yeah.
But both my parents are Mancunian, so they are born and bred in Manchester.
Money.
My dad is actually Polish, and my mum is actually Russian Irish. So massive mix. Both my brothers were born in Manchester, so all of my family have northern accents apart from me.
Yeah.
Then lived in Gibraltar until I was about 4. Moved to Manchester until I was about we moved back to Manchester until I was about 11. So I had a northern accent for a little bit, and then we moved down south to a town called Hastings, if you know Hastings.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Battle of Hastings, classic.
So yeah, I grew up there, and it was very kind of suburban seaside town that nothing really happened in. So yeah, that was
Fair
kind
enough.
of and then as soon as I turned 17, to London I went.
You were out of there.
Oh, I was out. I'm not a small town person.
You're not a small town girl. No. What song was that? Just a small town girl. Okay, go on. Yeah. Loved it. So like obviously that's quite a varied background.
Yeah.
In your mind's eye, when you go back in to your heyday, can you see shoes on people's feet? And if so, what are you seeing?
So again, I think the ones that were massive when I was kind of growing up that I remember for probably all the wrong reasons. Do you remember the K-Swiss reverse tongues?
The tongue twisters. Yeah, buddy.
I think my brother had a pair of those in every colour. And then the other one that I had was, I don't know what the name of them is, but they were Puma and they were like Velcro.
Yeah, and they were like twisted.
Yeah.
The Velcro went like that. Yeah. I can't remember what the name was. Yeah, they definitely had the streets out here.
I think I had if you were to do the panda version of those, I had those. So the black and white. I had a blue pair, I had a camo pair for one.
Yeah.
I got my birthday
they were very cool shoes. They were, and don't get it wrong, I mean they were sort of asymmetric type form fitting. No, not asymmetric. What's the word I'm saying? Ergonomic in the sense where they were kind of strapped up to your foot, so it was almost like a second skin. Yeah, there wasn't, and it wrapped around, right? It wrapped around. Yeah, no, it was a cool shoe. It's a cool shoe. I think, in terms of innovation, Puma probably fallen off a little bit. But back in the day, they did their thing. They had the Puma disc. I remember back in the day as well. They did their thing, man, and that was a popular shoe with the sort of girls in my primary school, and a few of the guys as well. So yeah, definitely a vibe. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Did you ever? And this is sort of I kind of alluded to it earlier for myself, but when I was growing up, in my house, the priorities were God, education, and food, right? Shoes did not make it on the priority list, right? So because of that, I had to do some things I'm not proud of. Wear some things I'm not proud of. Let me say it that way, right? Ended up with a couple of off-brand shoes, for want of a better term. I'll give you some names, and I just want to know from your perspective, do you remember the names? Did you ever have to dabble?
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? You got your garden variety, Plimsoll, you've got Gola, Ball Boy, High Tech, Dunlop, Mercury, Avia, Trax, Everlast, Slazenger. I don't know, there's one more that escapes me, but I'm sure we can plug the gaps.
Dunlop Flash.
Double. Oh my days, she's saying the whole thing.
So much.
The green flash.
Now, if I could find a pair.
Is that the Velcro 3 straps?
No, it was basically like a tennis shoe, like a Dunlop green flash, and it had a bit of a thicker sole, and they were actually quite popular. And I loved my pair, but also I think the ones that I probably had that you didn't mention I loved a Buffalo shoe.
Buffalo were those big Spice Girl shoes.
Yeah, loved Buffalo.
Yeah. And the green flash, that's a vibe. That's a
Yeah,
vibe.
they're
No,
nice.
I remember it. I
Yeah.
remember it. I remember it. I remember it. I remember it very well. Yeah, that's definitely a vibe. That's definitely a vibe. But the thing is, like, I think the way that you've looked at it is actually quite positive, because you saw that shoe as a good looking shoe. Where I grew up in London, no matter how good looking the shoe is aesthetically, it's not a Nike or an Adidas, and therefore
No.
you would have got told about yourself a little bit. So I had to go through the pain. You get me? But I'm happy you didn't.
Well, I was in my school. I was quite I guess a bit more on the kind of like grungy gothic side at my school. So, but my best friend
Uh-huh.
was, if you were going to put people in categories, my best friend was very chavvy. So we were kind of very, very different. So we had very different styles. So a lot of the things that she wore a lot of Nike, a lot of tracksuits, everything like that. And I was kind of more a lot of black mesh for some weird reason. But here we are.
Was you, and at that time, considering sort of the more grungy side of things, was you more
Converse.
like Converse, like
Yeah.
skateboarder shoes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
I
anything I
get
could
that.
do to get my hands on something kind of black skateboardy. I
Yeah.
and my mum obviously was just not best pressed, not best impressed. But never mind.
I get it. I get it. I get it. All right, let's bring our way into the modern day. In this part of the interview, I called the EST of KIC. And when I say EST, I mean the oldest, the newest, the rarest, the greatest, the best. In terms of your current collection, what are you rocking with today? Right. So, in your collection, what's the oldest shoe that you've got? Hi there. So nice to see you. Sorry to interrupt the pod. I'll be literally 30 seconds. I just wanted to say thank you for being here. And also, if you enjoy the pod, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It really does help. Also, if you're listening on an audio platform, feel free to give us a review, whether it be positive or negative. Just leave a review. We really, really appreciate it. Also, feel free to listen to our old episodes. And if you ever want to get in contact, if you want to let me know what you're thinking, feeling, or whatever, holler at me. My name is PROZECH. PROZECH on all social media: Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm enjoying TikTok at the moment, so feel free to holler at me. I will always holler back. And with all that being said, I'll let you get back to the pod. Toodles.
Oldest shoe I've got. Oh, probably a. Do you know what? Actually, probably when I started getting into trainers, it's actually a pair of Dunk highs that I never ever reach for anymore. But I can't bring myself to sell them because they were one of the first drops I ever kind of got myself. So yeah, I have to say, they're in like the football grey colour.
Oh, okay.
It's a
Cool,
bit of
cool, cool.
a bit of a tough colour to wear with anything, but yeah, I can't really bring myself to lose them.
Do you know what? There was a period. I mean, obviously, this is probably this was likely before the lockdown, right? It's before lockdown. You got these. I remember when I got into Dunks, because I wasn't into Dunks before lockdown. Like a lot of people that are probably watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, Dunk sort of had the massive resurgence around lockdown, and I remember like the original Panda, because we were talking about pandas, was the high top. I mean, was the high version, wasn't the low version. The low version was originally called the black and white, and
Yeah,
it's probably correct on your website, the Edit London. They probably got it down right, but in most places you're gonna see a panda and refer to the low top version when it's actually officially. I should put my glasses on when I say this. It's officially the high top version Dunk. It's not the low top version Dunk, but it was made. They flipped it when they realized how popular the lows were versus the highs.
okay.
So let's flip that all the way around and let's ask, what is the newest pair of shoes to make it into the repertoire?
The newest pair, probably the two recent pairs that I've picked up are the Albino Presto Dunk SBs.
Uh huh.
Really, really like those. I think it got a lot of backlash saying it's quite boring. I love them. I really, really love
But
them.
it's got but you could do the
Tear
whole
it away.
tear it out. Yeah.
You
I
can tear it
mean,
away, and I really like the story behind it. And then obviously you get like 6 pairs of laces with it, which
yeah,
are
the
obviously pseudo
jujitsu.
belts.
Yeah, man, with the
So
jujitsu.
that's cool.
Yeah. I think that's a vibe.
And then the other pair that I've just got, well, most recent, are a pair of New Balance 9060s, and
Ah,
I love them.
interesting. Yeah. The thing is, I mean, as a new silhouette, it's only really been introduced in the last couple of years or so. I think some people were a little iffy with it. The Joe Freshgoods version was fantastic,
Yeah,
and I think that really put the silhouette on the map. And I like the silhouette. I think that sort of runner style silhouette, that sort of smart casual style
yeah,
silhouette, that's New Balance's bag. That's their gift.
yeah.
That's just what they do, right? So,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
it's
heard
that
it's
kind of
really
like
comfortable.
sporty luxe aesthetic
Yeah,
female. Oh, they've nailed it. So yeah,
yeah.
they've been added into my rotation, and I'm really liking them.
No, that's a vibe. That's a vibe. That's a vibe. So, if I was to ask you what are the rarest pair of shoes in your collection, what would you say?
I don't have many. Personally, I don't have many rare pairs. I've got a lot of pairs behind me because me and my boyfriend actually resell on the side as well. So there's a few pairs that he's got in his collection that are quite rare, but mine not massive. I'm not. I try not to be too like snooty with my collection.
I hear that.
I guess it's not rare, but I think the drop that I was happiest to kind of get, and it was one of my very first kind of drops that I got, were the Dunk Low Coast. I think you can see a theme here that I'm really big into dunks.
Yeah, you like your dunks.
I like my dunks, but yeah, the Low Coasts, because the resale went up on them like overnight, and I was just like, oh, got a pair. So they're not rare, but it's just one of those ones that I was like, oh, I was glad to get those ones.
No, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. I'm going to ask you something. It's going to definitely require some thought in this.
Okay.
Right? What are your greatest pair of shoes?
My greatest pair of shoes. Oh dear. I'm going to sound so basic if I say this answer, but
I love it already, by the way.
it's not a dunk. Oh my god! But they're my Dunk SB Skate Like a Girls. I love them. I love
Okay.
the story behind them. I'm massively into kind of like female advocacy in this community. So the story behind them I loved, and I actually missed them on the drop. And I just hosted, I think, my second event for the Edit London. Really tired, really drained, got home, and my boyfriend had actually bought them for me. And I
Amazing.
kind of sat there and I was just like, oh, and it was just like a really nice moment. So yeah, I think they're kind of like a shoe that give me a lot of like good memories. So, and again,
That's great. Yeah, that's really cool. That's what. Shout out to the boyfriend. Yeah,
yes,
getting the old brownie points, man. We love that,
yeah,
bro.
he's good. He's very good at
Yeah,
it.
do your thing, big man. Keep it up. Um, what would you say your most expensive pair?
Definitely my Travis Scott Olives, my most expensive pair, I think.
Fair dues,
Yeah,
fair dues.
but they get a lot of wear. We did a Grail event in collaboration with Sneaker Den. Shout out Sneaker Den, we love Sneaker Den.
Love Sneaker Den. Sneaker Den's my boy.
And I was actually wearing them to the opening of the event, and we kind of did a little bit of a crep check together. I was like, "What are you wearing?" And then he was like, "Oh, what have you got on foot?" And my jeans are quite long, so I pulled them up, and I was like, "Oh, I've got the olives on." And he was like, "Ah, how many times have you wore them?" And I was like, "Oh, I've wear them quite a lot. I really like them, so I wear them a lot." He was like, "Ah," and now when I look at them, I'm like, "Are they really battered?" Like, I've had Sneaky Den tell me that my shoes look battered, so now I'm like, do I just keep wearing them? Do I need to get them like refreshed? Like, can I clean that? I don't know. So my battered Travis olive.
No, the olives are hard. I really, shout out to Sneaker Den for not holding back. Jeez, that's hilarious.
Oh,
Um,
I love the
I,
honesty, but
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I respect it. I thought he was going the other way because he deals in vintage kicks, right? So
yeah,
I thought he was like, "Oh, you've kept them really well." But to be
this
fair,
is
I
the
mean, they
thing.
literally came out like last week, so
Yeah,
it's like
this is
him
the
to
thing.
say that.
He sees a lot of battered shoes, and to say that, I was like, oh god, I need to work hard on these now. So yeah,
Oh, the guy. But yeah, no, I feel like when and this is an interesting topic. We can touch on it briefly. When the whole thing was floated about Travis dropping one last Jordan 1, and then we started seeing what the colorway was looking like, and it's a fairly sort of universally accepted. It's a good colorway. It's a decent colorway. It's got your whites, it's got your blacks. It's got enough of everything that anyone would want in order for it to be quite wearable and universally accepted. Then he committed, I personally believe, a travesty in making it a women's only drop, right? Because I don't believe in women's only drops. I'm thinking, let everybody catch their kicks, broski. However it comes, let us catch them. Like,
Exactly.
So when I'm hearing it's only going up to 9.5, that broke my heart because I've never been able to get a Travis. So what's your thoughts on women's only drops, considering obviously you are a woman?
Well, I'll kind of flip your olive to the mocha, because then that was only a male drop, and I'm a size 5. So when they start at a 6,
did they start that at a 6?
They started at a 6. For the UK drop, they started at a 6. And I heard kind of a rumour that Nike basically forgot to buy the size run for women for the UK and Europe because it just didn't matter as much. And I was, hurt my heart. But yeah, I'm very... we actually work with a designer quite a lot called TT Finlay, who is an absolute queen.
Oh yeah, shout out to TT, bro. She's a bear.
One of my favourite people in this industry, and she speaks a lot on women's only drops. And she said a quote a while back that everyone, like women especially, want inclusivity, not exclusivity, and that's kind of always stuck with me. Whatever drop comes out, women don't want their own exclusive pink Dunk or pink Jordan. No one.
Do you know what, fam, Kate, bro? You have to say that again because that was too sweet. Mate, everybody needs to hear that. What I said, reload that one, bro. What did she say? TT Finlay. What did she say, bro?
We want inclusivity, not exclusivity.
Oh man, oh TT. My days. Shout out to TT. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Couldn't say it any better, bro. That's amazing.
Stuck with me a lot. So yeah, every time that they do kind of like a men's only drop or a women's exclusive, I'm just like, why?
It's not necessary. This is what I've been shouting from the rooftops for like the last few years. I'm like, make more shoes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and Nike knows, right? I don't want to get on my soapbox again, but there are certain shoes that they don't put the energy and the effort into. And we get that those shoes are going to come out. Not everyone's a sneakerhead, so not every shoe needs to have a massive marketing budget behind it. We get it, right? But there are certain shoes that are quite important and do need a communication between the brand and the consumer. We need to understand why we should be emotionally invested in the shoe, right? When you do those shoes, make more of them.
Literally, it's not like you don't
just make money. More.
You don't, you have the money, like it's fine. And
5 days.
Yeah, I just the whole market at the moment is, you've got, and also you've got kind of people designing, you've got men designing these women exclusive drops, which again I don't really understand. If you're going to do a women's exclusive, get a woman to design it. Don't understand, but there's just no point. There is literally no point. And again, I think with cost of living and everything at the moment, people can't afford to buy every single drop. People are being a lot more like specific and planning, their drops for the year, what they're going to go in for. And I think that's why, there's resellers still a thing, just because of the fact that, if you can't get a certain shoe, but you've kind of waited for it, you've got that extra budget to maybe put behind a resale item. You don't want like 1 million shoes dropping, and like you miss so many things because just all this nonsense is coming out in between, and it's just it's not here for it.
No, you and me both, G. You and me both. So let's flip that over and let's ask, what are the cheapest pair you got in your collection?
To be honest, I think like anything Adidas. I bought a pair of, as I said, Sambas, a pair of Adidas Bolds, in a wild colour that again goes with nothing, but I was like, when you see a shoe on someone and you're like, I really need those, and then I missed the drop, and then I was like, well, now I really need these because I couldn't get my hands on them. So I waited. I think I actually put a notification on Soul Supplier for my size to come through every time, and always missed it. Finally got a pair, worn them once, but I love the colour and I just stare at them.
Respect it. I respect it, man. I don't think you'd be a legit sneakerhead if you didn't like go all out to get a shoe that you've literally only worn once.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Yeah, literally, that was me and the Pumas actually. Right, these are the Ruigi and Puma collaboration, the B-boys, right? And I was like, I fell in love with the pink, and I was like, it was giving me Cameron vibes from back in the day. So I was like, I gotta get them. Missed the drop. Put all kinds of notifications on to try and get the shoe. Finally ended up getting them, I think from Consortium. I think it was Consortium. But literally I've worn them twice. And Saturday, I wore them on my birthday recently. And I was like, oh, finally. Like, because I finally had a fit that made sense, and I was like, boom, I'm gonna wear it. And I wore it and it made sense, and I was like, yeah. But yeah, it's just part of the game, man. We keep it moving. If you're just like running out of the house, you're not putting a fit together, you're not all put together and that, because you are all put together, we have to respect it. But for the most part, right, you're just running out of the house. Maybe you're going to go grab a pint of milk, or you're going to go grab the newspaper. What's on feet?
Easiest question, Yeezy slides. Every time.
Respect
every
it.
time. I have, I think, 4 pairs of Yeezy slides. They are the comfiest, most ridiculous shoe I own. Yeah. Actually, the foam runners are the most ridiculous ones I own, but the slides, just amazing. Winter, summer, they'll be on my feet. I don't care. Yeah. Socks, no socks.
Yeah. Yeah, Yeezy bus case with the slides. I can't deny it, man. Yeah. I have to make do with the foam runner, which isn't the worst thing, because it is very, very soft and cushiony. I just never like the way that my foot's made up, for whatever reason. It just doesn't work with the slide. I get the bounciness, but I got a wide foot and it's a chunky boy, and it just doesn't work. So I had to just give up on that.
I have to size up 2 in the Yeezy slide.
I sized up 4G. It's not working. So I sized up 2, and I was like, it was giving me the right length, but it just wasn't comfortable. You know what you want with a slide is that you can just slip in, right? So I could put it on, but I wasn't getting the slip in. And I was thinking, like, I'm never going to be able to wear socks with these as well. So it was just a myth. So I ended up going another 2 sizes when the whole like Yeezy thing, when they rekindled for a few months, a little earlier in the year. So I ended up going up another 2 sizes. And then I got the slip in, but then my foot literally just all the way went through the hole. So it was literally like a shin guard at that point. So I was like, it's not. The maths weren't mathsing. So it was just like, sometimes a shoe isn't for you.
No.
You just have to charge it and just keep it moving.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to apologize in advance because you're probably not going to like it. But life, your house is burning down and you can only grab one. What you taking?
I would take... It would either be my Skate Like a Girls, or it would actually be my Jordan 4 Pine Green SBs. I have a big love for that shoe. Big love.
We can talk about the SB, man. We can talk about the SB.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think it was my first win on sneakers in about 2 years, like no joke.
You won that shoe on sneakers?
I won it on sneakers, and then I won the olive like the months later. And I was like, I'm on a lucky streak here. So luck happens in 3s. So I'm actually waiting for my 3rd in December.
Oh, so what is that Jordan 11?
We're going for the Powerpuffs. Powerpuff Dunks.
Powerpuff Girls, respectfully. I get you. A lot of people looking out for the Powerpuff Girls.
I know.
A lot of people looking out for the Powerpuff Girls.
I've already got the sweats thinking about it. Like,
what colour are you going for?
So, if I was a Powerpuff Girl, I would be Buttercup. I'm a little bit feisty. But I saw a picture of them on foot for the first time today, and the blossoms are screaming my name. I love them. So yeah,
I get that.
Both.
I get that, man. I get that. That's going to be, like, it's funny because Complex have literally just dropped their sneakers, their list of the year. And obviously they haven't really taken into account those shoes that haven't dropped yet. But the list was like, it was pretty terrible, to be fair. Like, I kind of wish, like, they waited a little bit and just had a full view of everything, but it's very sort of Nike and Jordan focused.
Yeah.
There's no Adidas in there whatsoever. No Saucony as well. In a year where I thought J Tips, and I don't know if you know about the whole J Tips thing, but like his first shoe, remember, he fronted, and then his Savior pack that just dropped at Complex Con. I thought there were shoe-ins for shoes a year. No Kith. No,
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, there's just like, I just seem like heavily biased. Like, I don't know if you pay attention to those things. I could imagine it would probably skew or affect things in terms of what sells and what's put on the edit.
Yeah.
But like, do you pay much attention to those things?
It's funny you say that, actually, because we're going to be doing a roundup video of the best of 2023 in December, and I kind of did a bit of like a kind of like Google form, and I've sent it around to people. Basically, you know, categories for awards, you know, best celeb collab, you know, best overall release, best
Very cool.
newcomer, things like that. And a lot of the list, I kind of went through with a few different people just to make sure that I had like everything covered. But again, people forget about the Asics and the collabs, the Solomons, you know, Ganni New Balance, like everything like that, you know, had a massive moment. But for some reason, people still only choose to remember Nike. And you're like, no, all of these incredible collabs and, you know, new silhouettes came out that we haven't seen before. And yeah, so it's definitely on my radar to try and get, you know, the lesser known, or like basically just not Nike in everything. I just don't want Nike.
It's true. I mean, it's always going to be hard because they're 70-80% of the market, and they've got a lot of the heritage and the history and stuff as well. So it is always going to be tough.
Yeah.
But I think we all know, like in the culture, we all know that Nike are always going to have the majority. So if out of a 10, they've got 5, that's more than understandable.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me Adidas hasn't had a great year. You can't tell me that New Balance haven't had an okay year. Not compared to the last couple of years they had, not on the same level, but an okay year. Saucony have had a monumental year. Literally out of nowhere. They've had a monumental year. Just through that one link up, they've come, they're back on, right? And then Asics, Kith, Clarks, like that whole Marvel thing as well. Like, there's a lot that was happening that people are just like completely brushing over.
Yeah.
And then I'm not saying it's a bad shoe, but the Nocta Glide is in there, bro. And I'm not even saying it's a bad shoe. But are you telling me that the Nocta Glide is worth a spot in the top 10 over Remember Who Fronted, or like the Kith Clarks and Adidas Samba? Considering Sambas have had an absolute resurgence, that's literally the best Samba. In fact, there was the Consortium Cup. There was another 2 or 3 amazing Sambas that came out.
Well, the Wells Sambas, like the ones that came out just recently.
The Wells Bonnet. Oh, don't even let me start coughing, bro. People know that I'm not fit. Fam.
Yeah, Wells
Bonnet. I completely spaced. I got 4 Wells Bonnets right next to me. Like, unbelievable scenes. Like, so yeah, no, I'm slightly pissed. I don't know what's gonna happen, but the thing is, what we've done, unfortunately, is we've put Complex on a pedestal because they were the first to start putting out their list.
Yeah,
almost as fact, and it really isn't. It's just an opinion, right?
It
is what it is. It's just an opinion. Like, we get pissed about it and we get angry and stuff and start, but it's all about the fun of the debate, right? It's all good. It's all good. I've calmed down. All right, talk to me about the Edit London, man. Like, how are things going? Obviously, as I said earlier, like, making huge waves in the scene at Sneaker Nest, but like in general, your name's fully out there as a place that people can go to get their kicks, and also it's a sneaker marketplace, right? So people can sell their shoes, buy their shoes, and it's just another great place for people to be able to make some money and pick up some good shoes as well. So talk to me, how did you get involved with the edit? How long have you been there? What are your plans moving forward?
It was funny actually. So I actually worked in publishing for like 8 years. So I worked in partnerships and kind of ran accounts like BT and Sky and Chanel and kind of did their advertising for them. And my CEO Moses, who obviously you know, he had a recruitment business on the side for a really long time, and it would recruit for media jobs, so like people in roles that I was in. So he actually reached out to me a few times with media roles, like on the side. And then I saw on LinkedIn when I'd connected with him an article about the edit, and I was kind of like, is this like a legit thing? Like, do you hire people? Do people work for you? So yeah, I kind of reached out and I was like, I actually really am looking to get out of media. Um, do you have anything going at the edit? And he was like, well, what would you do? And I was like, what do you want me to do? I'll do anything. I don't care. So we had a few conversations back and forth. It all took about 6 months for it all to happen. He really kindly invited me and my boyfriend down to like any events that he was throwing. So I got to meet the team who I loved.
Amazing.
Just instantly you feel like a really nice connection with these people. So yeah, I went to a few events, and again, yeah, it took like 6 months for a role to come up. And it was kind of a bit of a everything role, really. It was kind of more marketing at this time. And I was like, to be honest, I've never really done marketing, but you know, how hard can it be? It'll be fine. It turns out I hate marketing, really, really hate it. But it was again, for a startup, there was a very small team. I was coming in with like a lot of kind of like digital knowledge. So it helped out for a while. And then I just ended up taking over the social team. So there was an intern called Simeon working at the time who had been there since day dot, and it was kind of his last 2 months. And then there was another team member called Bella who had started about 3 months before me. So yeah, I took over, I came in as their boss, and now me and Bella are still going strong. So yeah, kind of turned into more of a content led role. We got someone in for marketing, thank God. So yeah, kind of just happened really strangely. And I think again it was a bit of I don't want to say a lifeline and make it sound really dramatic, but you know, I think when you've been in something for so long, you really need kind of a bit of a hand to, you know, start something new. You know, when you're in your 30s, you're a bit like, oh God, you know, are people going to really take me on if I've got no experience doing
I hear that.
So yeah, Moses took me on, and now we're here. So yeah, I was really, really thankful for that kind of bit of a life turnaround. Really, it's been like an incredible 2 years.
Awesome, man. That's a really, really cool story and really encouraging, even from someone like myself, because like I've been considered, I work in financial services, and I literally have to find the time and the energy to be able to go to these different places, speak to wonderful people like yourself, but also work with like the brands that I work with and stuff like. And I'm at that point where I'm sort of balancing everything along with my family and every other responsibility that I have going on. And you sort of try to find that point of sort of critical mass where you're like, when am I able to sort of like do what I want to do as an actual role? And I feel like it's really cool when sort of like you're able to sort of identify a company. And this is the really cool part in your story. It was probably like a lot to do with Moses because of your relationship with him, but it was the company that he was like, I would like to work for that company, and I don't really care what I do, but I know I could add value, and I know I could actually come in and help what you guys are doing, and you're growing organically with the company, which is amazing.
And it just takes that one person to believe in you that you can do something and you can grow, and there is something you can bring. You might not have experience on paper of the actual job description, but you know, me and my boyfriend talk about this a lot, where, you know, you can have skills in so many different areas and put them together to like really come up with something amazing. And yeah, so that's what we did. And again, I think, you know, I've had contacts from, you know, still my media career that have been helping me out, and vice versa. And now I'm actually able to kind of give budget to brands that like publishers that I used to work with. And that's a really kind of nice thing being the other side of it now. So yeah, it's but yeah, as I said, it's kind of just having that one person that believes in you that you can do it, and like really kind of, it kind of really spurs you on to prove that like you did make the right decision, like I can do this.
Awesome. In your sort of the next sort of 3 to 4 to 5 years, in terms of the edit and in terms of your role at the edit, what are you seeing? What are you envisioning? Because you're in a fairly competitive marketplace right now. Like there's a lot of stuff happening. And one of the reasons why the edit has popped up is because there's a lot of buzz around Kicks right now. Do you envisage that growing? But what do you envisage ultimately for the edit in the next sort of 5 years?
So we've tried to make ourselves, obviously, again, as you said, it is a very competitive market. Bread and butter, we are kind of all doing the same things. We are selling, the newest drops. We're trying to be, as competitive as possible, working with the best consigners. But I think the certain things that we have that are a little bit different. Obviously, we opened our pre-loved marketplace last year, and that's just gone crazy.
Perfect.
The amount of people buying pre-loved is amazing.
100%.
So being
first time this year, unbelievable.
Yeah,
never thought I'd ever do it.
Yeah,
never thought it.
Do you know what? It's actually men that don't buy anywhere near as much pre-loved as females do. Obviously, females use Depop all the time, and sites like that. But when you're looking for a bit more of a luxury product that you want to get it somewhere that you trust. Again, you don't know if you can trust these places.
100%.
Don't give you that authentication process, so you've still got that with us. And then again, you're getting like a bit of a gem for next to nothing. So. Kind of having that, and then being able to work with some influencers that we have to kind of sell their wardrobe. We work with Example, we work with Amy Reddish, who's a dear friend of mine. So yeah, we've got kind of that end of it, and then on the other spectrum, we've kind of got our personal shopping handle where you can get personal shoppers on hand to source whatever you need. If it's not even on the site, they'll do it. We work with the likes of Threads, Farfetch. And source all their goods for them as well. So it's just kind of like a non-stop business. But then I think my two key pillars I'm really working towards, again, is kind of working with communities that don't often kind of get heard. And I think that's why I really love doing Sneakerness and working with the basketball community. I don't know anything about basketball, and now I absolutely love it because of that, meeting all of these amazing people that, properly brought their A game and love the sport, and we're really just happy to be there and play. So that kind of element, and then also just, again, the female element of, having a passion for something that is very, very male dominated and kind of bringing that into the spotlight. So that's kind of what I want to bring to the edit going forward, and just highlighting that a lot more.
Awesome, man. People will definitely give people the opportunity to go and follow the edit and go and I'm saying look at what's going on the website and all of that sort of stuff. We'll get into that before the end. But yeah, people, if you don't know about the edit, where you been? Where you been? I'm saying, like, where you been? What we're gonna do now, but before we get into some sort of irreverent questions and some quick fires, I want to know for you, top 3 of 2023.
Top 3 of 2023.
Talking about lists and stuff before, we might as well knock one out as well.
Jordan 4 SB. Definitely
number one, maybe.
Do you know what? I think it might be. I really think it might be. I actually used to hate Jordan 4s as well. And it's only really since working at the edit, I now own 4 pairs of Jordan 4. I love them. Yeah,
they're having a massive moment right now.
I love them.
Yeah, they're having a massive moment. But yeah, I can't look past the SB4. It's the only SB. It's the only 4 that I own. Yeah. I've had so many 4s. A lot of
people have said that they had to have that one in their collection.
Yeah, you don't. With all due respect, you don't need another one after that. And to be fair, there are some amazing 4s out there. The issue that I've always had was the comfort.
Yeah.
Right, it was the comfort. Right, there are. I mean, we can go back and talk about the breads. We can talk about some of the sort of like UNCs and blah, blah. There's so many good like military blacks, blah. But it's like every 4 that I've had ripped the back of my foot up.
Yeah, they're uncomfortable. My military blacks were probably the most uncomfortable pair I ever bought.
And the military black's a good shoe, very good shoe, but it's they're just not comfortable.
No.
Like, and you have to think about these shoes were designed in the 80s. There's only so much you can do in terms of being able to make the shoe more comfortable in the modern day, and that's the reason why the SB4 sort of sits above the rest in terms of that, because like they actually took on board all of the things we were saying in terms of comfort under the guise of it being like a skateboarding shoe. And I get it. Skateboarders need comfort, but regular people need comfort as well. And the truth is, there's probably some basketball people out here that wanted to wear the shoe to play basketball in and probably couldn't because it was uncomfortable, and now can, right? Whether they do or not in the SB4 is another question entirely, but they now have the option. So the SB4 legitimately is a fantastic shoe. Like, very, very happy with that shoe.
Yes. Oh, my second one. Do you know what? There's like, I think it might be very early doors me saying it, but I think this Powerpuff Girl is going to be my second favourite.
Yeah.
Just again, that nostalgia factor, the fact that it's an SB and a dunk.
I like that.
But yeah, I love the Powerpuff Girls growing up. So again, once that kind of collab came out, I was like, I'm sold. I don't.
That's fair.
Just take
That's
every penny that I own.
I think it's always a slam dunk when you've got like a strong collaboration.
Yeah.
Strong collaboration is going to beat a GR every day of the week. And I don't know if you can look at like, you can say that SB is a collaboration as well. I suppose it's a collaboration on paper as well. But like, two departments, I suppose. But like, I think the interesting thing about the Powerpuff Girls is like, it's like, it speaks to a generation. And if you're really, really deep the whole thing, it's the generation that are really buying shoes right now. I'm saying those that were like in their sort of like, I want to say sort of like what I'm saying, probably like 9, 10, 11, sort of that sort of age in the 90s. If that was you, or the early 2000s, you're probably going to be the one buying kicks now.
Exactly.
So it works. And the Powerpuff Girls, even though it was like Powerpuff Girls, like I knew a lot of guys that still watched the Powerpuff Girls because it was...
Again, my brother, who was older than me, we used to watch it together and he used to die laughing because it's just...
Yeah, because it was quite funny. It was funny, right? There's no... We can't deny. We can't rewrite history. Powerpuff Girls was good. It was a good show.
It's just funny.
It was a good show. So no, I feel like a lot of people are looking out for that. And the fact that there's 3 of them, like you've got that whole thing of like being able to collect them all as well. Like I think there's smart marketing behind that shoe. So no, it's definitely a vibe.
I think my third, which I really didn't like at the time, but now I've come to find, like I just have a massive appreciation for them, are the silver Wales Bonner Sambas.
Yeah, a lot of people love that shoe, and I think just their take on the Samba was fantastic.
Yeah, and I think again, different to kind of the other colorway that was brought out, the silver with the kind of lace detailing and just again nailed metallics were obviously huge this year. It was just such a good shoe, and again, when it came out, I was a bit like, "Oh, who's buying these?" And the more you see them, and the more people styled them up, and I was like, "This is a good shoe." So yeah, I really, really like them. I don't think I would be able to suit them, but I really appreciate the way that they look on other people.
Strong shoe, strong shoe. I have to respect it. Like prior to seeing what they did with the Samba. Like I didn't really have Wales Bonner on my radar as much. I saw a couple of their collections and I was like, they're a little posh and a little
out there
for me. Like I'm saying I'm a little old lad from Southeast London, bro. Something just go over my head. But like when you see certain fits and you're like those, I think I saw Jude Bellingham wearing the silvers, and I was like, he wore them with shorts, and I was like, I could imagine being on holiday wearing those. I could do that, get the old legs out and that. It's a very, very clean shoe. And I just think their whole take on the Samba was very, very nicely done. So, yeah, I got a lot of time for it.
Doing it for the females.
Yeah, 100%, man. And obviously, like, that collaboration wasn't and this is kind of harking back to what we talked about earlier. even though I want more female designers, I don't even need to know if it's a female designer.
Yeah.
That's a good shoe, regardless of who done it. Whoever did it. And the thing is, I say that, but women should get their recognition, because for a long time, obviously people weren't giving them their recognition, right? But as a sneakerhead, the highest compliment I can give to any designer is, I don't care who designed the shoe. The shoe bangs. Like, there's no agendas here. There's no agendas here.
Nice.
Like, if I find out it's a pygmy or like or an alien from wherever that designed the shoe still bangs, broski. So like, it is what it is. But like, I have to give it up, because she's definitely done her thing when it come to those shoes.
Yeah.
And I think Adidas in general, like in terms of their collaborations this year, have actually done fantastic. And they're not getting a lot of the respect that they deserve, because they had a terrible few years.
Yeah.
Like, they've literally come back from the brink.
Oh,
right?
And even the fact that, the way in which they kind of had Harry Styles marketing for them, but not really marketing for them. Just, again, that it's just genius. Just genius.
Yeah, man.
Again,
We're good.
The Gucci collabs as well.
The Gucci,
they did.
Like, the one that I would say was a flop, right? The Gucci one was absolute amazing, right? I'm still thinking of that torsion aqua, and the gazelle, crazy,
beautiful.
right? But the Balenciaga one was terrible.
Oh no,
the Balenciaga was terrible. That was a money grab, right?
But even the Prada one didn't go well.
It didn't bang the same way. The thing is, even though the Gucci was still quite expensive, like a lot of their high end collabs are still quite expensive, the design in it and the ability to utilize the print and the way that they did it was so good.
So good.
Like, it just couldn't be denied. And when some things are that, you see the level, and this is what speaks to me. And you were talking about marketing earlier and being able to speak to the consumer. When I see the effort, that's what causes me to buy in.
Yeah.
Right? I see it. Now, I know Gucci is a high level boutique, and they could literally phone it in. They've got the print, right? They could phone that in, like, or they could do what Prada did and just literally put that red stripe on anything they want to put it on. It's absolutely fine. You can phone that in. It's easy, right? But when you go to the extent that they've gone to, where they've looked at different silhouettes and the silhouettes that we know and we love, they've gone even further, and they've incorporated different things in different colors. I'm like, broski, no, you did your thing, and I respect it. Absolutely respect it.
The one off the back of that, the one that I might get a little bit hate for, but I'm not an Air Force person. They're just a bit too clunky for me. I've never been an Air Force person.
I know exactly what you're gonna say. Say it with chest.
The Tiffany Air Force.
Come on, man.
You couldn't have done anything better with that Tiffany blue. You couldn't have done anything better. Just
right.
It's a black Air Force.
Kate, I'm gonna be real with you, yeah. I said it earlier. I'm a black man from Southeast London, G. Right? When I see a black Air Force, I cross the street. I know when I see black Air Forces, that person that's rocking them shoes, them on D1 times, yeah? They are on D1 times. They are about to commit some kind of felony, some kind of crime is about to be committed. You get me? If you're in the ends, yeah, and you see man working black on black Air Forces or black on black 95s, just know you're in the wrong place. It's about to be a scene. You need to get out ASAP. You get me? So yeah, they made a mistake. They did really
well, but I just...
Yeah, it is what it is. They did really well because people were calling for a Tiffany collaboration that was legitimate, right? They did really well because it had the silver bits on it and it had the other little things, and it was just exclusive and expensive, right? But in terms of anybody that I've spoken to about that shoe, we all have the same grab. We all have the same thing. Who was in that meeting? Who was in that meeting?
And who was the one in the meeting that suggested the yellow laces? Who was that? Because they need to be sacked instantly.
ASAP.
What? One person rocked the yellow laces with that shoe.
Never seen it happen.
Never.
It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's pointless. Absolutely pointless, man. It's the same as seeing someone use that toothbrush. That's not going to happen either.
Absolutely not.
Absolute joke. All right. I'm going to ask you a question. This one that is close to my heart. It's called Desert Island Kicks.
Mm-hmm.
right? You are stuck on a desert island, but you don't know how you got there, right? You got 2 pairs of shoes with you. What I'm trying to understand and what the people want to know, right, is what 2 pairs of shoes do you have with you on this island and why? Just so you know, they don't have to be from your collection. They can be any 2 pairs of shoes in the world.
So my favourite shoe of all time that I don't have in my collection that I'm desperate to have at some point is the Travis Scott bandanas. I love them. I will never not love that shoe.
Hard shoe. Super hard shoe.
And I think I'd take it because there's so many details on it that you could just look at, and like the print, the different coloured ticks, the laces, just even the box. If I could have the box, that'd be great as well. But yeah,
solid shoe.
Love that shoe. Absolutely love that shoe.
That's a very strong shoe. Good start.
It's a true fave. I think if I was on a desert island, probably a foam runner. Because again, you wear them in the sea, they don't come off. If there's pebbles, you're fine. Absolutely fine. I went to the south of France a few years ago and I was kicking myself that I didn't bring my foam runners with me because it's all pebbled beaches, and getting in and out of that sea on pebbles was the most unattractive thing you could possibly witness.
Very painful as well. No, definitely. I've made it a point to every holiday that I go to, I will always bring my foam runners. And it's annoying because it's like you then have to wear the foam runners out because you can't pack them because they take up too much space, even though they're as light. Even though as light as anything, they take up too much space. So you literally have to wear them there and back. But that's fine. It's a small price to pay because the shoe is absolutely fantastic on land, sea, and in the air. So very, very good shoe.
You can use it for everything. Yeah. It's great. Probably 2
solid choices. Yeah, no, I feel like it's got that in it. I feel like it's got a little bit of the old boomerang about it. Like if you threw it in, because it's aerodynamic, it's got those holes in it. So if you threw it round, it would probably just come back. All right, we're gonna do some quick fires now. Is that cool?
Yes.
All I want from this one, I just need you to give me your answers with vim. No dilly dallying, right? Cool. And if there's anything a little bit weird in there, in terms of your answers, we may come back to it and discuss it. All right. So let me know when you're ready. You good?
Good.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick breath. All right, we're going in 3, 2, 1. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
New Balance or Adidas?
Adidas.
Can you wear Nike and Adidas together, yes or no?
No.
Spotify or Apple Podcast?
Spotify, 100%.
Okay, dude, what is your favourite collaboration?
I think it has to be the Travises. Always get me.
I respect it. Vans or Converse?
Vans.
Are you default with your laces or do you do patterns with your laces?
Default. I'm quite boring.
I respect that. Do you customize your shoes or are you straight factory settings?
I'm straight factory settings, but I've been seeing some customs recently that I really respect, but I'm straight up.
We like that. Retro or innovation?
Innovation.
Oh, I like that. Flip-flops or sliders?
Slides.
Socks or barefoot?
Socks.
Comfort or style?
Comfort.
Fresh and clean or beaten and battered?
Fresh and clean.
Do you hand wash your shoes or do you stick them in the washing machine?
Oh, hand wash. Oh, yeah. Well,
I almost said dishwasher. Oh yeah, shout out to the boyfriend, man. I do that for my missus as well. I think we care the most. It hurts us the most in our hearts, so we gotta do it, man. Lows, mids, or highs?
Lows.
Okay, lastly, triple blacks or white on whites?
White and white.
Look at that, man. Respectfully. Okay, because obviously we spoke about.
Was it like school shoes?
Yeah. And also you look like a murderer, so yeah, that's cool.
I live in Peckham, so gotta be careful.
Oh my days, man. Shout out to Pecs, man. That's very close to where I grew up, so yeah. ain't no murdering going on in Pecs nowadays, man. They just murdering the sourdough recipe. All right, cool. So what I'm gonna ask you now is just this is the last little bits. It's the word sneakerhead. A lot of people have different feelings about that word. I just want to know from your perspective, what does it mean to you?
To me, a sneakerhead is someone that just has a passion for shoes, whether they be high price, low price, Nike, Asics, any kind of brand, but just has a good collection of sneakers that they just want to continue adding to. Basically, that's my version of a sneakerhead.
And with that being said, do you count yourself as a sneakerhead?
I am a sneakerhead, 100%.
1000%. Kicks
1,000%. I'm there.
Chronicles certified. She's 30. Big up yourself, man. You've got to the end of your Kicks Chronicles. Congratulations.
Yes. Amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
No, man, it's been an absolute pleasure, Kate, man. It's been really, really cool getting to speak with you, hear your opinions, find out a little bit more about your story. It's been an absolute treat, man. Talk to the people, man. Millions and millions of people are going to watch this, so you might as well let them know what's going on in your life, how they can support. What's going on? Talk to the people.
Just follow the Edit London. It's all the content that you see on there. Me and my lovely Bella do ourselves. We do it on every single social channel. A lot of work goes into it. So any following or engagement of any kind would just be amazing. And if we're ever throwing an event, of course, you're all welcome.
Amazing. And you never know, you might see Big PROZECH there as well. People, this has been another episode of Kicks Chronicles. We had an amazing guest. Kate from the Edit London has blessed us with her presence. You know what you're meant to do. You're meant to like, comment, and subscribe. And you're also meant to share. You know them 5 stars? Yeah, them 5 stars. That's all we want. We don't play games out here, you get me? Don't try and give me no 4.5 stars, G. This ain't complex out here. Give me them 5 stars. With all of that being said, massive thank you to you, Kate. It's been absolutely amazing having you. And people, until I see you, man, down the roads, look after yourselves and stay blessed.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Kicks Chronicles. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, rate, review, and all that good stuff. And remember, full video version is available on YouTube, audio versions available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.